Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make a shadowbox spacer using 8x8 glass frame with insert. In Cricut Design Space, I have shared with you the template that you will need to weld your design into. So there are 5 spacers template that I have shared, and any design you want, you do need to reduce that design to a 7.28 by 7.28 to fit the template. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make the fish aquarium from Shoppath. You can find Shoppath on Etsy. So here is the design. Let's reduce that to 7.28. And once you have that reduced, I'm just going to move this one aside here. Once you have that reduced, ungroup your design and kind of lay it out in order, because you will need to see which 5 layers you want to use to weld into the template. I think this one have quite a few layers here. And there it is. So this very last piece, don't worry about that. That one, it's not gonna get glued or weld into anything. So we don't count that layer, but you will need to cut that layer out. Although that layer need to be much bigger than the design, because it need to fit the frame itself, the whole white frame. I believe it's probably 7.5 or maybe 7.65 or 7.5. I forget, but you can always measure and cut that by hand if you like. So anyway, each of the spacer here, you can see the tab where you fold down, it gets smaller and smaller as you go down. And so the rule of thumb here, this very last one, and I'm going to show you this very last piece is very narrow. So this is my last piece here. You see how narrow it is compared to the very first one. So which means that you can fit more layers with this width here behind it versus something more narrow. You can probably fit just maybe one more layer on top and one layer on the bottom only. So with that, you can help you kind of minimize your decisions of which layer you want to weld into the template. So you can weld the very last layer if you like, or you can use that last layer to go behind the template and weld this layer instead. So in my project here, I decided to weld this layer and just use that one for the back of it. So let's go ahead and kind of organize that. So I'm gonna move this one. So this one is gonna get welded into that. And now the first one, obviously, it's always the first layer that's gonna get welded into it. And then you just kind of think about how many layers you want to glue behind that first template. So I would glue this one, and I probably glue that one, or vice versa. We'll just leave that one hanging. We won't weld that one into the template. Then you can decide what you want to do. But we'll go ahead and weld this one to the second spacer. And I think this one here, I wanted to glue to the back of that second spacer. And then the third one, I think, what did I do here? The third one, it was layer 10. Yes, okay. So the third one's layer 10. That I weld into the third spacer, and this one just goes right behind it. It's just gonna get glue behind the spacer once it's welded. And then the fourth spacer, I think I glued, which one did I do? This one here. I weld that layer to that, so then I can just put this one either behind it or put this one in front of it, and or I can use it on top here. So anyway, so none of these are going to get welded, and when you do assemble it, you will see and understand which layer you want to glue to the template itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and move all these aside, and I'm just going to show you how to weld, and then everything else just going to get cut out just as is. So we're going to weld the first one here. So when you weld, make sure you detach the score line. You don't want to score or weld with it, or else you're going to miss your score line. Once that is detached, move your design to the spacer there, and then arrange it to the back. That way when you weld it, it will change to the color of the design you want. So once that is moved, select them both, align, center, combine, and weld. And once that is done, bring the score line back. Make sure you arrange your score line to the front so you can see, and then select them both, align, center, and then attached. And then you do the second one. I'm just going to show you one more, because you just pretty much repeat the same thing until all the 5 layers are welded. So we're going to detach the score line, move that aside, move the design over, arrange it to the back, and then select them both, align, center, combine, and weld. And move the score line back, arrange that to the top, and then select them both, align, center, attach. Okay, well, that is it. I mean, it's pretty much, you're just going to repeat the other two. So I'm just going to conclude this, and I'm going to show you how to assemble it. So this is what we have. Have it all cut out and assembled. So my first one, so this was the first layer, and I decided to attach just gonna put it here. Actually, I'm not gonna attach anything to the first layer. Sorry. So the first layer, the one that we weld here, so I'm not going to attach anything to it. So put that into the frame. And then the following layer, so in this design, it goes from big number all the way to small number. So the next one in line is layer 13 and layer 12. So I glue layer 13 and layer 12 together. And then there's also layer 11. So the second spacer that I did was layer 10. So I decided to glue layer 13, 12, 11 to layer 10. Let me glue that one real quick here. And you don't need too much glue. Just light glue on the edge there. Let's glue that one there. Whoops. Let's glue here, here, and then so layer 13, 12, 11, 10, and then I decided to also glue layer 9 to the second spacer. Just put a little bit of glue on the edge there. So there it is. And just glue the face the fish face down just a little bit. Oops. There you go. So glue all that down. And the little fin here. Okay, so there you go. So spacer 2, I glue layer 13, 12, 11, 10, as well as layer 9. That is to spacer 2. Put that one into the frame there. And then that follow with layer 8 that I glue to spacer 3. And then I'm gonna glue actually layer 8. Yeah, so spacer 3, that's layer 7. Then I'm going to glue layer 6 to the back of spacer 3. Right here. Just like that. I guess I'll put glue here. So this is how it looked like. So spacer 3 has 8, 7, and 6. Place that in the frame. And then I have spacer 4, which is number 5. And then I just glue number 4 right behind it. Just put that one into the frame here. And then my last spacer was number 3. And that I will glue number 2 to the back of it here. You can use more glue if you want, but with this it actually stays pretty well. But see, it fits so nicely. So last spacer, I just put one more layer right behind it. And then the very last piece is kind of cut it to fit the board here, and tape it double side tape, and I just attach that on. And then we're gonna, that is it. That's how you assemble this shadow box. Yep. Always have a hard time with the, there you go. There. And there it is. It is so pretty. Look at that. All right, you guys, have fun crafting. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.